morning, student. My name is Bharti Gule. Today we are going to discuss about how early human beings live, what kind of clothes they wear, and what they ate. Let us start. Hello. Good morning, student. Today we are going to learn about SST, first lesson, that is the early human beings. What kind of food they eat, where they live, what kind of stool they use. We are going to study about them. When the early human being came on the earth. Okay, so let's start with the lesson early human being. That is first point. Where the early human being lives, they live in a forest. They live in a forest. Early human beings move from one place to another in search of food, water, and shelter. Why they move from one place to another? In search of food, water, and shelter. Because at the stage of early human being, there is no shops, no malls. Like we buy something, we want something, we go to the shop and buy. But at that time, there were no shops or anything. So they have to search for food. They move from one place to another. What they eat? They eat the wild animal. They hunt the wild animals and eat raw flesh. Why they eat the raw flesh? Now we cook the food and we eat, no? But they don't know about cooking anything, nothing they know, so they eat the raw flesh. They also eat the fruits, what they found in the forest, nuts and roots of different plants. There is another name for the early human being, that is a hunter, gatherers, and or nomads. We also call them hunter, gatherers, or nomads. There is another name. What is another name for the early human beings? That is a hunter-gatherer or nomads. Next is where they live, what kind of clothes they wear. Because at that time there were no shops or anything. From where they will buy the clothes? They don't know about the clothes also. So they wear plant leaves and animal skin as a cloth. They wear the plant skin, wear the animal skin and plant leaves. Early human beings live in a forest, and to protect themselves from harsh weather, they live on a tree or in a cave. There is one video regarding this. Watch it carefully.
Hello, children. Today, we're going to learn about the early humans. One day, while reading about old civilization, Tom fell asleep. He dreamt that he and his sister had gone back in time to a place where everything was very different and civilization was just starting.
I wonder where we are.
Looks like someone's coming. Quick, hide.
Look at that man. What a thick and long beard he has.
Uh-oh. It looks like you've come.
Yes, you can see in the picture, there is a picture of early human beings. They are wearing the animal's skin as a cloth.
We're really long way back in time. We are in the Stone Age. That man is an early human.
What does early human mean?
Early humans are people who lived a long time ago.
What is early human being? A people who lived long time ago. What is a people who lived long time ago?
Let's follow and see where he goes. What is he wearing?
Early humans did not wear clothes like ours. They covered their bodies with tree leaves and animal skins. Look, there are more people ahead.
Let's see what they are doing. What is that?
That's an animal that they've hunted.
What they hunt the animal and eat the raw flesh of that animals.
How did they kill that animal?
Early humans killed one animal with the help of sharp stones. And then
Listen, they are talking, but I cannot understand what they are saying.
early man could not talk like we do, so they made sounds or used their hands to point to things while talking to one another.
Look, they are taking the animals and going somewhere. follow them. Look, they are going into that cave.
Yes, that is where they lived. Early humans did not live in houses like ours.
Yes, where they live in a cave because they don't have the houses like us. You can see in the picture, they are going in the cave.
They lived in caves and on trees found in the forests.
Why did they live on trees or in caves?
Wild animals like tigers, lions, and elephants also lived in the forest, but they lived in places where they would be safe from wild animals. The cave had to be big enough for people to live here. They would eat, sit, and sleep here. They would also store their food here.
What food did they eat?
Their food was meat, wild fruits, and roots. They would go from one place to another to search for food. And do you know, they ate raw meat because they did not know how to cook it on fire.
Why they eat the raw foods? Because they don't know how to cook that. So they eat the raw flesh of wild animals.
Later, they learned to make fire by rubbing two stones together, and then they would cook their food before eating it. Did you know that early humans liked to draw? They decorated the walls of their caves with drawings of animals and scenes showing how they lived.
Oh boy, what a crazy dream.
Okay, you have seen in video what they eat, how they hunt the animals. Now next point is cave painting. They live in a caves. They live in a cave and they do the painting on that. Painting, they don't have the colors or anything. Then how they will paint? How they do the painting? They use the mud color, leaves color, and on that they paint what is the lifestyle of that. By seeing that picture, we get to know how they live. There are stone age. What kind of tool they use? They use the stone tool because they don't have the knife or cutter we are using nowadays because they don't know about that. So they use the stone tool, and that is they are using the everything about the stones. They use this broken stones and sharp edges of the stone. So this period they are using the stone tool only. So this period is also called as the Stone Age. The first tool were made up of stone. Early human beings observed that broken stone had a sharp edges. This period is called the Stone Age. And gradually they learned to produce the sharpened tools. Stone scrapers were used for removing the skin of the animal. What they use to remove the skin of the animal? They use the stone scrapers. They also use the stone axes where they use for cutting and killing the animals. Stone axes is what purpose they use the stone axes? They use the stone axes for cutting and killing the animals. Now, Stone Age is divided into three parts. Stone Age is divided into three parts. The first one is Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Paleolithic age is also another name for that. Old Stone Age, for Mesolithic, Middle Stone Age, and for Neolithic, New Stone Age. There are the different stages of the Stone Ages. There is another video regarding these tools. Watch it carefully.
The early men. All of us would be aware that the early men roamed the earth around 2 million years ago, who are now referred to as hunter-gatherers. They owe their name to their ways of hunting for food. They usually hunted wild animals, gathered fruits, vegetables, roots, and leaves. They also caught fish and birds for food. It proved the fact that gathering plant produce was an important means of obtaining food. The early men were tailored to rough it out in the wild. They had the necessary skills of alertness, agility, and presence of mind, which enabled them to catch the fast-running and sometimes dangerous wild animals. These prehistoric people often moved from place to place due to four main reasons. They are 1. The early men moved to another place when all the food resources have been exhausted.
They move to other place. Why? When there is all the food, there is exhausted.
In search of new animals and
In search of
vegetation,
new.
they traveled elsewhere to find food. Still, the early men mirrored the migration patterns of wild animals in search of.
What is a migration? Migration means leave that place and went to some other place.
Food to ensure that they do not get separated from their own source of food. 3. Since different plants are bound to bear fruit in different seasons, the early men have also moved places according to the seasons. 4. The early men moved to places where there was sufficient water, often camping close to seasonal or perennial lakes, streams, or rivers. Another reason why the early men were vagabonds could also be the need to stay connected with other people, namely relatives or friends. The prehistoric people always traveled on foot until the discovery of pulling carts. The very first experts who confirmed the existence of the early man happened to be archaeologists. The prehistoric tools and things used by the early men proved to be invaluable in the discovery and study of their lifestyle. Many of the tools made out of bone, wood, and stone have survived over the centuries, helping us understand the ancient ways of living.
You can see in the video, there is a different kind of tools they are showing.
Of the Stone Age men. Stone tools used by our ancestors were extremely important. These tools enabled the people to hunt, cut bones and meat, chop wood and fruits, and scrape bark from the trees and hides of the animals and dig the ground for roots. Wood was chopped to make fire and to build huts. There were also special tools which were used to stitch together animals.
You can see in the video, they use the special tool to hunt the animal. That is a stone tool only they made.
Skins to make clothes.
And for clothes, they use the skin of animals. And to remove the skin of animal, they use this kind of tool. There is next point, that is a fire. They don't know about the fire, but by accidentally they get known about the fire. While rubbing the two stones together to sharpen their tool, they may have the noticed spark, and eventually they may learn to light the dry grass with the help of the sparks, and this create a fire. What we learn in this lesson? We learn about the early human being, what kind of food they eat, where they live, on paint, what they do in the cave painting, what kind of tools they use. There are different ages of the Stone Age. First one is Old Stone Age, Middle Stone Age, and New Stone Age. Different Stone Ages. We studied about early human beings, food, shelter, about cave painting, what kind of tool they use, how fire is come to existence, how they get to know about the fire. Okay, and also different ages, Stone Ages, Neolithic, Mesolithic, and Paleolithic. Okay, and when they get to know about the fire, they started. In your textbook, there is a picture, and in video we have seen they using the fire to cook the flesh of animals. So this is our lesson is over. Okay, thank you, students.